I'm Lynn. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So here again, we'll have you, my Singaporean friend, and she's here today to answer some questions about Singapore that I think it's worth sharing with you guys. And let's get started. So let me introduce my friend over here, Hui Yun. She's super smart. She's damn hardworking. She's right now NUS engineering student, final year. She's gonna finish soon, and she got scholarship, so she's damn smart. We have some questions for Hui Yun over here.
Okay.
How do you feel Singapore's work environment? Is it very stressful? Is it chill? What do you feel?
I've worked in 3 different countries, so Singapore, Norway, and Taiwan. Relatively, Singapore and Taiwan are Asian countries, so we are much more, the grind culture is on. We treat work as a very big part of your life. So to answer your question shortly, I think working in Singapore is much more intense and much more stressful compared to like European countries like Norway. From what I observed, there's a report last year about the longest hour work by each country, and can you guess where Singapore is ranked?
Top 10.
It's first. What? Yeah, so the working hours in Singapore is the longest. So working in Singapore is a bit longer, but I wouldn't say it's as bad as China. People treat work very seriously here in Singapore, and we want to always produce very good work, so we spend longer at work. And Singapore is also very efficient, and I think people are also very well educated, so you can expect very good quality of work for what you pay for.
Next question is gonna be, what is the 3 things that you think that Singapore has that no other country has?
Oh, that's a bit tough, but don't quote me on this. I'll say definitely the first one is safety, and I think you really agree with that.
Yeah.
Like, I can be walking alone in the streets at 2 a.m. without, having any fear, without getting scared. Because Singapore is a very safe country, and we have a lot of CCTVs around also. And I think people also, citizens here or residents here are also very well behaved. Yeah, because of the strict laws, so everything is very safe. I think the second, I would say like maybe the meritocratic society, or like how the society is shaped. Here in Singapore, we have very good education system, and I think hard work and it's always rewarded. So here in Singapore, education is really cheap. It's not free, but it's heavily subsidized. And then if you have really good grades, there are like a plethora of scholarships you can choose from and apply that's provided by industry, the government, and even the school. So in Singapore, as long as you can study and you want to study, the Singapore government will have opportunities for you to further down your study, and I think that could be a bit rare, considering like say US, where education is very expensive and very dependent on where you live. Right? Third one, I would say the food. Yeah, I really, really like the food here in Singapore. So basically, Singapore has like 3 main races, four actually, 4 main races. So the Chinese, the Malays, the Indians, and the Europeans. So with this diverse group of people, right, we bring in very diverse different types of cuisines, and that's also fusion food, like known as the Nyonya. So Nyonya is like mixed Chinese and Malay, right? So the food here choices in Singapore is like so widely available and super cheap and affordable as well, compared to like the price of living in other countries. So I really, really do love the food here in Singapore, and the quality is really guaranteed as well. You get what you pay for.
I have to agree with that. Actually, one of the things that I like most about Singapore is the hawker centers.
Yeah.
That you go there, you can find like whole variety of food, European food, Malay food, Indian food, Chinese food. And you got so many options, like, I'm feeling today Chinese or Indian, or and you got really good quality food.
So you should definitely check out the hawker centers, which is just within your reach, and you can get like a nice meal in under like $6.
The next question is gonna be, being Singapore so diverse, like with 30% of the population being Chinese, another 30 being Indian, and also Malay. Do you bond together? Is it there's integration of the culture and everything?
Speaking from my personal experience, I have friends from all different types of cultural backgrounds. So, but I can't speak for anyone. But I would say like Singapore government is trying very hard to bond these people together. So even in our housing scheme, like how we live and where we stay. If we stay in HDBs, basically for every HDB, there's a racial quota. The Singapore government want to ensure there's a good mix, like people from different race and cultural background in the same environment, so that we know we can learn how to live with each other. So there's a lot of policy plannings in there, and even in schools as well. We have a lot of like racial festivals, and we celebrate each other's differences. We will celebrate Chinese New Year, we celebrate Hari Raya, we celebrate Christmas, and we also celebrate
Diwali.
we're very big on racial day. So every year there's gonna be this racial harmony day where we come dress out in our own like traditional costumes and we celebrate together. Yeah, it's really truly like a cultural hotspot.
If you can like improve one thing of Singapore,
Actually, on top of my head, there's one thing I think about, and I think about it every single day.
okay.
It is the weather.
Wow, yeah.
I honestly, I love Singapore and I'm very proud to be a Singaporean. But I really despise the weather because every single time when I step out of the house after showering, after 5 minutes, I'm gonna sweat so much.
But I kind of get used to that right now.
Yeah.
And the thing I love most about Singapore is that you can have summer clothes all year
Yeah,
long.
yeah.
I love that. It's just
Yeah.
like makes it so easy. You don't have to go buy a jacket,
Yeah.
cardigan.
Yeah.
So you just need shorts, t-shirts, and that's
Yeah.
all you need in your wardrobe. That I love it. Actually.
Yes, and I want to make a comment about the rainy weather. So even though like sometimes the rain can be really unpredictable, but I think Singapore is such a nice and livable city that's very well planned. That you know anywhere you go, there's gonna be shelter over your head.
That is
So,
true.
Yeah, from me, right? From the moment I step out my house to somewhere I want to be, I know that there's gonna be a sheltered path, so I don't have to really worry about bringing an umbrella.
I love also like wearing flip-flops everywhere just because you don't wear I mean at least in my case I don't want to like wear like good shoes, like very expensive shoes, because maybe it rains and just gets wet, and I just wear flip-flops everywhere.
That's
it's just so
true.
convenient.
That's true.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, so last question is gonna be like for someone that is gonna visit the country, like 3 recommended places you would tell them, like for sure you have to go this place.
First one definitely here, right here in Marina Bay Sands, Gardens by the Bay. For sure you have to visit. And second, perhaps Sentosa. It's a tourism hotspot, and there's the Universal Studio, and everything is integrated. There is an integrated resort. And then the third one,
Chinatown, Little India, that area, or
yeah, Chinatown, Little India, that area. So these are like cultural hotspot places, and everything is like so walkable. You can literally walk from like Chinatown to Little India, and then to
Arab Street?
Arab Street. Yeah, and I used to work in Chinatown in a hostel, so you can really see how like the old culture and the new culture comes together, because you get to see the street arts in Chinatown, and if you turn around like 180 degrees, you see the tall skyscrapers right behind you.
Yeah.
And I think that's really, really very unique about Singapore. And make sure you do try out the food there in Chinatown, Little India, and Arab Street as well.
yeah, and also Singapore has one of the like cheapest Michelin stars
Yeah.
in the hawker centers.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Wei, for this session about know more about Singapore with a Singaporean. Let us know in the comments if you like it, and I can take this lady out again and interview her again. So see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe and like.